Alrighty, guys, welcome back to the GameTime Gazette. It is your host Isaiah Aneni, and I am joining you guys on Thursday. Gloomy Thursday. Walk through all the rain to get here, to bring out this episode. I'm excited. The weekend we got UFC 300. It's supposed to be the biggest UFC event ever. Obviously, you got to market it like that. It's the 300 one. 200 was marketed like that. 100 was marketed like that. But 300 has like 13 current or former champions on the card, so it's pretty stacked. It's pretty stacked. Prelims all the way to the main card. It's pretty stacked. I would say that myself. We got all that. Masters are beginning today. You know what? Let me not even get too much in. Just hope all of you guys had a great day last night, or a great night last night. NBA was fun. Raptors season continues to end down. I thought we were going to beat the Nets yesterday. Nets just continue to stink more than I thought the Nets would ever stink. I'm not even talking about the Nets today. I could actually spend 2 hours talking about the Nets and how they have no direction and all of that and this and that, but none of that. Just hope everybody's day was good. Before I get started with anything else, I was thinking of what to say. Just hope everybody's day was good, and let's get into the sports news for today. So without further ado, the fastest 180 seconds. Let's go. I continue to forget the time. It's all right, we got it. Alrighty, let's start now with the beginning being that the Masters starts today. As I said, 30 seconds ago or a minute ago, the Masters starts today. It's the best tournament in golf, the best greens, the best, just time. It started around like 10:30 or something today. And it's also the best time to bet on golf, right? You got, the daily matchups, right? So that's just the head-to-head matchup. So if all right, this is what the GameTime Gazette is, right? We teach golf. So if you guys don't know what golf is, basically, every day they play for 4 days. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and every day they go out with another person that they're playing on the green. Whoever's in let's say they're in the top 50, or let's say they're both in the top 10, right? So the top 10 obviously gets matched up with the top 10. So you're just playing top 10 guys, right? Obviously that'll be a Sunday thing. So that's like a matchup, right? So me against him for the day, not for the whole weekend, me against him for the day. That's a great way to make money on golf, because you don't need it to be for the whole weekend. Just a few hours of some good golf from a great opponent, and make some money that way. We got news from Andretti. Oh no, last thing about the Masters, I got Victor Hovland winning the Masters at plus 3,300. You guys catch him out on that one as well. Just took a guess. Let's see if it hits. Let's go, Hov. All right, we got Andretti, the American racing engine supplier. I know they're American Racing Corporation, right? So Andretti, obviously led by Michael Andretti, just opened up their Silverstone facility. The team was granted an entry by the FIA last October, but failed to pass the second stage of the process when its bid was not approved by F1. In a statement issued on the 31st of January, the project thus remains in limbo while discussions continue behind the scenes. The team continues to target an entry in 2026 should an agreement with F1 be reached. So even though Andretti got rejected in that second stage, they continue to keep fighting to get into F1, which is great to see for us F1 fans. Hated that they rejected that second stage of the bid. Bayer Leverkusen has a chance to break an age-old curse of the club and finally win a Bundesliga title. They have a record of getting runner-up in the Bundesliga 5 times and not winning the title. This weekend seems like they might just do it, with a Bayern loss or their win, they win the league, right? So, and they haven't lost all year long. It's phenomenal. They might end off invincible. keep you updated on the Game Time Gazette with that. Last but not least, as the time goes off on me, I understand, I know, I hear it too, but I got one more thing for you guys on the docket. Houston Rockets owner Tillman Fertitta remains steadfast in his desire to bring a professional hockey franchise to the city. This comes after the news that the Arizona Coyotes could move to Utah as soon as next season. The NHL is reportedly drafting 2 versions of the 2024-25 schedule to accommodate the potential relocation to Salt Lake City, which is a surprising thing. I swear, you just seen the, I swear I just seen the, Coyotes post their new stadium on Instagram, because if you know hockey, you know that it's been a long running joke. The Coyotes don't even have their own stadium. They play off the college team stadium. That's not a professional hockey stadium. That's a college stadium right there that they play out of. Finally getting a proper stadium, but it's looking like they will be in Salt Lake City. Surprise me. I'm not too sure if they will do it for next season, but it seems like it's something that they're gonna try to attack for next season. Okay, let's get that's the fastest 180. It's because I went so long, not so long. I went like 30 seconds after 180. Sometimes I just forget where I'm going next. Whew. But I've been meaning to get the NBA awards out to you guys, so we're talking MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Sixth Man of the Year, Most Improved Player of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, an award that they added just now. And at the end of it all, I'm going to add an award, a special award, so stay tuned for that. It's called the GameTime Gazette Award. Hopefully it carries on. Hopefully it has a little bit of fun, but it's just an award that gives it to the grittiest player, in my opinion, despite a situation, despite a record, anything. It could even be a player on the worst team in the league getting the GameTime Gazette Award. Stay tuned for that. But we'll start off with the biggest award that's going to be given out, or that's going to be voted on in 4 days, because that's when the votes are. It's in 4 days. The season will be ending on Sunday, but the vote is in 4 days, which makes sense, right? So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday, everybody's voting, right? So MVP, obviously a lot of discourse. If you're on Instagram, you've seen the odds. If you bet, you've seen the odds. Like, you see that Nikola Jokic minus 5,000 now to win the MVP, something like that. It's a ridiculous number. It's high. It's like a ridiculously high number. But as much as you hear on it, like, oh, does Jokic deserve it? I even seen a thing about like I don't know if it was a joke. Probably was a joke. I didn't watch the video, I just read the caption, but Kevin Hart said the NBA can't give another MVP to Joker. It'll ruin the league. Probably was a joke, no word of a lie. But then I remember seeing the thing that former NBA player Gil, I'm forgetting his name, Gil, came out on the Shaq, or not the Shaq podcast, it was with the Shannon Sharp podcast, right? And then said that Gilbert Arenas said that that Jokic, this and that, worst MVP in the last 40 years. Tried bringing up the Russell Westbrook years and this and that. I'm like, brother, stop. I hear the clickbait and all of that. I understand it. I run a podcast too. You want some views on your podcast. You want it to get viral. You want it to go on there. But hey, man, brother, please, let's be serious. What are we talking about, Jokic? With all due honesty, even though I want to give this to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I want to give this to Luka Doncic. I mean, Luka Doncic this year, 34 points per game on 48% shooting. only goes to the line less than 10 times a game. 9.2 rebounds, 9.8 assists. Brody's averaging, like in my opinion, like he's basically averaging a triple-double rounded up. 1.4 steals, defense is in there as well. On 48% shooting. Played 70 games. Shea, 30 points per game. You got him on 54% shooting. Jeez Louise. Talk about crazy, man. 5.6 rebounds, 6.2 assists, 2.1 steals. As much as I would want to give it to one of those guys, Nikola Jokic has, if we're gonna be real about what MVP means, as much as people want to discredit what Nikola Jokic has done, and as much as people want to make it seem like, hey man, I understand they're the champions, but they're the champions because of that man. Obviously, other players had their part to play in that championship, but no Jokic, no championship. This year, you see it. I mean, they're top of the West. Jamal Murray, it's not been consistent in my eyes, but it's been okay. It hasn't been bad, but we're talking top of the West, and it's because of that man, Nikola Jokic. We're looking at Nikola Jokic's numbers: 26.6, 12.4 rebounds, 9 assists, 1 steal a game. Doesn't pop off the page for you, man. Why? Because he's not attempting 30, 40 field goals a game. He's doing this on 58% shooting. Averaging 18 field goals a game. 58% shooting. At the end of the day, the leader aspect of it all as well. He plays every game. He's played 77 games. For context, there's 82 games. And for more context, there's still 3 games remaining. 4, maybe. He's going to play 80 plus games this year. We talk about most valuable. We talk about players that, man, it ain't all about numbers. You could watch it with your eyes and see that Jokic runs the Nuggets. Without Jokic, there's a stopgap. Offense doesn't run off the same. Even defensively, as much as everybody wants to diss him and his build and, you know, how they think he would play defensively, Jokic is a great defender. A little slow, you know, when it comes against playing a little bit against the Bam Adebayos, this and that. Definitely gets a step on him for sure. Anthony Davis seen it the other week. But he's solid defensively. Keeps his own. And he holds that middle of the floor. I got Nikola Jokic as MVP. And this year, I feel like it's a year that you could give it to a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And the only reason I give it... and Luka's my guy. Luka, you know, averaging, 34 points per game. Cool. Like, that's actually phenomenal work. A little bit more and he would have been in historical air. Only like Jordan. You know, he would have been in a rare air. If he averaged a little bit more. Jordan, Iverson, I think. Kobe, I think. That averaged like 35 or more for a season, right? But the wins aren't there for me with Luka. You know, you got Kyrie there. It's a tight West as well. You know, I like that the finish is better than the start for the Mavericks, but the Mavericks didn't start very well. And I understand MVP isn't a team award, it's a player award. But at the end of the day, when you have a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander where the average age of an OKC Thunder player is 24, they're, top 3 in the West. Shai's averaging 30 plus, playing out of his mind. And then you got Jokic doing what Jokic is doing. You have to have the wins there to back it up if you're Luka Doncic, even though your numbers are out of this world, right? So we'll take it at that. That's MVP right there. I feel like I laid it out properly. All right, let's go to Rookie of the Year. This one right here, I feel like I could have left it out to the end, or I could have just moved it on to the rest. I don't know, but this one's pretty easy. I do want to highlight on Brandon Miller a little bit, Chet Holmgren a little bit, but obviously it's Victor Wembanyama. Wembanyamas. He just played amazing this year. I mean, we're talking, coming into the league. His Victor Wembanyama is coming into the league, you expected him to have a little bit of a growing pain, right? But this season, he comes in, he plays a whole load of games, right? He does his thing. I love that he played 70 games up until this point in this season. 4 or 5 games left. Probably end up, if he does play, I seen that he was out last game, load management or whatever, or was that the game before that, something like that. So you never know, probably won't play, but if he doesn't, even if 70 games, man, that's a great start. I love to see that. Didn't get injured, really healthy throughout the year. 21, 10, and 3 on 46% shooting, 51%, the efficiency, field goal percentage, the effective efficiency, field goal percentage. I loved what I seen from Victor Wembanyama this year. I love that you could see the generational talent. First game on, you're like, okay, this guy's different. This guy's actually different still. And first game on, I'm like, Raptors should have tanked for Victor Wembanyama's. I understand we're tanking this year for Nikola Topic and Alexander Czar and whatever, who else is out there. But Victor Wembanyama he's the real deal. He's the real deal. It's going to be interesting when the Spurs get some other pieces around him. I mean, you got Devin Vassell there. Obviously, he had a great year where he grew. He moved up. We knew about Keldon Johnson because he was really the only one doing a lot last year, years prior, right? Obviously. So those are, great fundamental pieces, right? And then you got, Sohan, Jeremy Sohan. He's all right, be able to contribute and everything like that. But the Spurs got multiple draft picks this year. If they get the Raptors pick as well, number 6, they have multiple pieces to add in to complement this guy Victor Wembanyama. He is on 2, he's fighting for 2 awards. Let me see how many awards I put him on here. Only the 2. He's fighting for 2 awards. It's his first year. Doesn't happen a lot, bro. That is the most rare thing you would ever see in your life. This is something that happens in NBA 2K, man, where NBA 2K, you can't even, obviously, rookie, they don't win MVPs. I guess if you go off, if you put it on rookie and you go off, you'll go win MVP as a rookie. But yeah, as a rookie, you could, on NBA 2K, you're trying to win a defensive player of the year. You're trying to win a 6th man of the year. You're trying to win a clutch, you're trying to win one of those awards. Clutch player of the year. I don't know if I haven't played 2K in a year or two, man. I don't know if they added clutch player of the year in 2K. They should. It's an award in the NBA, so probably trying to win clutch player of the year in the NBA in 2K. But no, on all seriousness, this is video game stuff. What Wembanyama is doing is video game stuff, and I just wanted to give him his love, his flowers. 70 games this season. He was up here and he grinded. Everybody's watching the WWE, And the whole thing about Cody Rhodes is a grinder. You know, Victor Wembanyama's a grinder. Another grinder, Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller went under the radar like this because of a Chet Holmgren. You know, Chet Holmgren had a great season. Wembanyama, obviously, phenomenal, astronomical. Nike made an alien logo for Wembanyama. The hardest logo that we've seen in a minute. But he's not the only rookie that, you know, could actually change his team from that last draft. Brandon Miller, 73 games played so far this year. I mean, like, I'm saying the games played thing because if you've been following the NBA, that whole games played thing has been such a big story in the NBA. Obviously, rookies, maybe not as much, but as well as injuries too, gotta factor that in too. So he stayed healthy. He played all the games that he could as well. Looking at who's on his team as well, the other guy I'm thinking of, you thought of it too. LaMelo Ball, that nigga don't stay healthy. LaMelo, we haven't seen him. We'll see LaMelo for a week, a month, and then he's injured. Got an ankle sprain. Got something else. You know, LeVar came out 2 weeks ago saying, 2 weeks ago saying it was because of the Adidas shoes. Everybody obviously knows the whole story about how Lonzo got injured in the Big Baller Brand shoes. You know, to be honest, that whole thing. Who really knows why LaMelo can never stay healthy, bro? Who really knows? But he does it. And Brandon Miller did. And this year he did, averaging 17 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. You know, I'm 44% shooting. Obviously, I gave out Wemby stats, and then it was 21, 10. You know what I'm saying? It's like Wemby's leading. I mean, I think he has more career blocks than like 80% of the NBA that's ever played. It's wild. It's wild, right? So Wembanyama is obviously over there, but Brandon Miller is still very, very high end talent, right? So wanted to give him some love. I felt like, you know, haven't heard nothing about him this year. I gotta go online and look about my own Brandon Miller shit, this and that, like, because it's all about Wemby. It's all about Wembanyama, rightfully so. I ain't saying Brandon Miller better than Wembanyama, nah. But he's a baller, and he played really well. He played really well in this season, even though he's not second for Rookie of the Year. You know, have to have him in top 3. Scoot Henderson, that guy's not even around, man. Pretty low season, pretty down season, but obviously Chet Holmgren had a great season with OKC, this and that. Not really too much of a diss. Having Chet in there instead of Scoot actually is not a diss at all. It's actually the correct thing to have. All right, let's go quickly. Let's start to speed up a little bit here. I said I was gonna be quick on the Rookie of the Year, and I took my time a little bit. I just had to give my flowers and love to all those guys, especially Brandon Miller. Felt like nobody been talking about him ever. Quickly as we can, let's go Coach of the Year. Mark Daigneault for the OKC Thunder. I feel like it's self-explanatory. Do I have to search up? I mean, I think they had like 30 wins last year or something like that. Let's see, NBA standings 2023. Like they had like 30 wins last year, right? Like, so for me, it's they have 40 wins last year. 40 wins. The year before though, 40 wins. They had 24 wins. Okay, so the last 3 years, they actually, Mark Daigneault, man, he ran away with it. He ran away with the award. He ran away with the award. It doesn't make any sense how the Thunder are a top 3 seed in the West right now. It doesn't. I mean, they have a gazillion draft picks because they were supposed to be in this process. You know, they were supposed to do the whole trust the process like Philadelphia. But this is the proper way to do it. This is what Philly never did. These guys are trying to win. Early on in them years, Philly was tanking, trying to build. I mean, not trying to. They built the worst culture possible about tank, and we're gonna try and tank every single time we can, this and that, try and get the best, and then at a certain point we're just gonna stop, and then everybody's gonna just be locked in, focused. It doesn't work like that. You have to be trying to win every single day, every single year from day one, even if you don't. And that's why I'm on here and I say for the Raptors, bro, I come, good on this, bro. We beat the Bucks. I love seeing that. Even though I want them to tank, I love seeing us still have that fight and hunger to win, not coming out and saying we're just gonna tank, because that's how you create bad culture, where you're set back 3-4 years like the Philadelphia 76ers were, because they created a bad culture for themselves where it was just a tanking culture. Had to fire their whole old coach Mike Breen, all of that. Like, I remember the whole thing. It was crazy. But the Thunder and Mike Dagnall have built a culture of winning, a culture of consistency. We're talking about steady growth. They were 14th. For context, there's only 15 teams each conference. They were 14th in 2021-2022 season with 24 wins. 2022-2023, they were in 10th place with 40 wins. Obviously, 2023, 2024, they're in 3rd place with 55 wins. 2 years ago, they had 24 wins. That's 31 win difference from 2 years ago. Mike Dagnall, he's done a phenomenal job, bro. Phenomenal job. You see the average age. Everybody wants to talk about Shai's leadership. I talk about Mike Dagnall's leadership as well. Just see it. It's very clear to see how much of a leader he is. These guys are ready every single game. 55 games won. Still have a chance for that first seed. Just a game back from the Denver Nuggets. Defensive Player of the Year. I got Rudy Gobert. Losing. They don't want to give it to my boy Wembanyama. They don't want to give it to my boy Wembanyama, but Wembanyama low-key deserves it. The thing about the Defensive Player of the Year award that I haven't enjoyed seeing these last couple years. I mean, last year, bro, Jaren Jackson got it just because of a couple blocks, bro. It's not that he was the best on-ball defender. Not even, he was just, a couple blocks, bro. Comes back this season, bro. He's not that great of a defender, that guy, Jaren Jackson Jr. Rudy Gobert, in my opinion, he's a great shot blocker. He's a great low down center. But he, in my opinion, Wembanyama's, the things that we've seen Wembanyama do in this short period of time, even if they don't want to give it to him this year, he might be taking it almost every single year from now on. From sophomore year up until the end. We're talking crazy. Wembanyama's, man. If you just want me to break down Wembanyama's defensive stats, let's start looking at his blocks, right? Or first, you look at his defensive rating. For context, this only goes to 140 or something. But Wembanyama's defensive rating is 106. He averages 3.6 blocks a game. We're talking, to this point, he has 252 blocks. '87 steals. We're talking ridiculous amount of production on the defensive side of the basketball. Obviously, you look at the things that Rudy Gobert has been able to do in Minnesota with the Timberwolves and that, the Chris Finch, defensive system. I agree. They have the best defensive team in the league. Minnesota, ranked number 1 defensively. All the stats really do point towards Minnesota being the best team defensively, right? And the anchor of that defense being Rudy Gobert. And in a year where, maybe the voters don't want to give it to a rookie, where they know the rookie is the better defender, you give it to the best defender on the best defensive team, and that's Rudy Gobert. That's happened a few times these last few years. I'm praying to God that, defensive player of the year, bro, it doesn't lose its taste, man. Because defense has gotten so watered down in the NBA, man. They don't even, the award doesn't even seem to have the same type of meaning that it did, when Kawhi, Draymond were winning it back. I mean, when defense was still part of the game, it was still low. The defense was still such a big part of the game. I'm not saying it's not now. Obviously, defense is it's the whole other side of the floor. But the rules have changed it so much that it's diminished the importance of being a great defender. And that's why I'm giving the love to, Victor Wembanyama coming in and showing his love for the game, number 1, by showing his prowess and his effort on defense. Because honestly, everybody talks about the reasons why defense is, they want to make the game faster, this and that, but they also don't want to get the players tired that quickly. They don't want to give the players' legs extra workloads. Why? Because the players requested it to be like that. I swear they did. Because defense is tiring work. It's tiring work. Imagine playing defense against such a good basketball player, not even an NBA guy, bro. A good basketball guy you see at LA Fitness, and you're trying to take the ball. You get to stop. It took so much energy out of you. You get to stop, try and take the ball and go get a bucket of your own. Obviously, the cardio in the NBA, they got to be fit for sure, and it's not but you see it when you're watching a game. Defense isn't even being played. The importance of defense has really gotten down. So do I love when a rookie of the year rookie of the year, Victor Wembanyama, he's locked in for rookie of the year, so it's not me blasphemous saying Victor. It's just, you're gonna give Rudy Gobert his 4th defensive player of the year. Tied to Kemba Mutombo for the most of all time. Is Rudy Gobert's that good? Rudy Gobert is not, in my opinion, man. He can barely move his feet. He's great. He's great. Obviously, he can move his feet to get a block. Put him out, not even the perimeter, man. Put him out to the high post. He's getting cooked. And defense to me is more than just a little block here, block there. Back to that Jaren Jackson point that I had, where Wembanyama could step out to the 3, man. Year 1. I feel like as I'm going through all these awards and I just know what they're, because the odds are out there, right? And it's all right, voters see the odds and this and that. It's probably going to be, all right, whoever's at 1 on all of this. I obviously aren't just using, I'm definitely just using, let me tell you guys my methodology, whatever, my thought process behind this, how I chose, my awards, right? So first, the NBA leaders, so we're talking the stats and all of that, leaders and stats and all of that, the betting odds, like I just stated, the statistical performance, that's, I guess, stats, another, just stats, and the media votes. I'm going off of what the media is already saying. So watching First Take and hearing Stephen A. Smith saying, he did say that he wants Shia as MVP and he got to vote this and that, blah, 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 but probably gonna vote Jokic. Like you know what I'm saying? A lot of these guys are just talking this and that, but they're probably gonna vote Jokic. When it comes down to it, the room gets dark and it's just them and the ballot. They're probably gonna vote Jokic, and that's okay because it is Jokic, right? But with that point being said, yeah, I just get a little sad reading some of these, and I'm like, dang, wish it was a little different, man. Wish it was a little different because I'm such a big defensive guy as well. And then a Rudy Gobert winning it, a Jaren Jackson Jr. winning it. It's like, what is... tires my soul out a little bit because you know that they aren't the best representation for a defensive player in the NBA, bro. If I wanted to show someone that never watched the NBA before in his life, yo, show me like the best. I'm showing them Victor Wembanyama's, man. I'm showing them Victor Wembanyama's, man. This game is more exciting too. Maybe I'm being a little bit more biased because Rudy Gobert has zero offensive game. Zero. It makes no sense. He has no bag offensively. Cannot put the ball on the floor at all. All you can do is alley it to him or hope that you get to him open so he can dunk it or lay it up. He has no offensive bag. Zero jump shot. Not even close. I haven't even seen him attempt one ever. He probably has, but I've never seen it. A little bit of that is in there. That little bias is in there. But nevertheless, I do believe Victor Wembanyama is the best player, best defender in the league. Quickly on to the next sixth man of the year is Nas Raid. I feel like, you know, we've seen a lot. Like, I'm trying to think of the best sixth man of the year runnings. You know, like the best years where it's a lot of competition. Can't really, not one comes to mind. I'm thinking of the Lou Will, when he was a Raptor, bro. When Lou Will was a Raptor back in the day, and yeah, those are some fun times. I don't remember who he was up against. I think he was up against Jamal Crawford, bro. I think that one probably was like one of the better six man of the year runnings, right? Where when he won it, Drake made the song or whatever. Or Drake had the campaign song for Lou Will or whatever. I think that was one of the better ones, right? But this year, I really enjoyed this year's running because, you know, even though I just named out the winner, Nas Reed, a lot of people probably have Nas Reed. You see him, he's basically a starter. He only doesn't start because of the guy I just spewed 20 minutes going on off in Cat Anthony Towns. You know, so it's like, he is a starter level player playing. He's a Lou Will. He's a Jamal Crawford starter level player playing on the bench. Real talks, bro. He comes onto the floor, threes, twos, rebounds. Valerie said threes, fours. Yeah, but he comes onto the floor and he has just that innate ability to change the game for the Timberwolves, right? This year played 79 games, bro. He's played every game. He's played every game. I'm getting hype seeing that. Played 79 games, 13.4 points, 5 total rebounds on 47% shooting. Talking about great numbers coming off the bench there, you know. For Malik Monk, a guy that I had second, you know, played 72 games, which is still awesome. You know, 15 points per game, 2 rebounds, 5 assists on 44% shooting. To be honest, the only reason I even chose Nas Reed over Malik Monk was, one, just love Nas Reed's work ethic. Feel like he's such an underrated player. Feel like this is an award that he deserves to like get some love. And I feel like he really is a starter in a 6-man role. You know what I'm saying? Like, he reminds me of a Lou Will. He reminds me of a Jamal Crawford. On no bullshit, bro. He reminds me of those guys, bro. But as a big, not because of his shiftiness, this and that, but his ability to contribute to the game, even though he's coming off the bench, because he's that good of a player. Like, you know, when we think about Jamal Crawford and Lou Williams, it wasn't just because they were shifty, had great handles. No, it's because they contributed very well coming off the bench, bro. They were starters coming off the bench, and that's what made them best six men of the ever. That's what separated them from all the other six men. And I feel like that's what separates Naz Reid from all the other six men. These last few games he's been starting, averaging 18, 20 or something like that with Karl Anthony Towns out, right? Started 11 games or something. He's averaging 18 points. So the numbers itself aren't the whole reason to me, because man, he's coming off the bench and he's doing this on a team where they have two other bigs that they play way more than him, right? But Naz Reid plays so well that they have to force him in the league, in the team, and that's the reason I'm even I one of the easier picks for me. One of the easier picks for me on this, no cap. And Norman Powell at third, still giving love to my former Toronto Raptor, having an amazing season over there with the Clippers at six man, amazing. Clutch player of the year. I don't think I'm gonna go too deep into this. This one, honestly, because they do it with the fourth quarter points, and they do it with the most points scored in the last 2 minutes, this and that, all those stats. So it's really a statistical based award. It's not something that's super opinionative. So it's these are this is who won it last year? De'Aaron Fox won it last year, I believe. So it was he was the best fourth quarter player. He these much wins when it was easy to give it to him. And this year I think it's pretty easy to give it to not pretty easy, because the next two on the line as well had kind of similar, right up there. But Steph Curry, I mean, we've seen the Warriors, everyone's saying the dynasty over. You guys, hold your breath. Wait for them to retire, because when this guy is on the floor, they have a chance. Trust me on that, with the 3-ball and whatever. Trust me on that. Still, hold your breath. Don't jinx it, because watch him go win another chip. You know what I'm saying? Just chill out. But yeah, Steph Curry as clutch player of the year. Obviously, like I just named out, didn't have too much of a stats of this, but they base this award off of fourth quarter points scored in the last 2 minutes, games won because of all of it, the fourth quarter points, quarter comebacks, all of that shit. So it's really a statistical based award. Don't have to spend too much time on it. If you wanted to check the stats, I would. I really would. But I want to get on to the next one. Most improved player. This one's the one that hurts my head, bro. But at the end of the day, this is the media opinion. This is the media opinion for some reason. Even though this is not my opinion. It's the media opinion. Remember that, okay? Tyrese Maxey at 1, Kobe White at 2, Jalen Williams at 3 for most improved player of the year. Everybody has Tyrese, that he had that, 6-point boost in his average. He had this time off with Embiid, this and that. For me, I personally, you guys, I had an episode here where I talked about it, where I wouldn't give it to Maxey because of the things that he did without Embiid. He didn't elevate again without, maybe I'm being a little harsh. For sure, maybe I'm being a little harsh, but let's start, look at the jump Kobe White made. Look at the jump Jalen Williams made. These guys made some astronomical jumps, and even though the NBA is saying they'll probably be there next year, Jalen Williams really helping an OKC Thunder team that won 30 less games 2 years ago, right? And then comes on this and that, all of that, man, all of that. But you can't fault the numbers. If they give it to Tyrese Maxey, it's because of the numbers. Even though the eye test for me wasn't as convincing, the numbers were there. He averaged 27 points per game, about 6-7 assists, something like that, or 5, something like that. Great numbers. Sorry, I had the numbers ready. What am I doing? Played 68 games, 26 points. Let's say 26 points. 3.7 rebounds and 6.3 assists on 45% shooting. Yeah, numbers are there. Really improved from last year's numbers, where he, last year he went, have it right here. Last year he played 60 games, right? Went efficiency, pretty similar numbers. similar numbers, 5 point, like I said, 5-6 points, 20 points per game. 3 assists. I guess the assist was really a bump. His playmaking got much better. 3 more assists per game is a lot more. And then the same 2.6 rebounds, 2.9 around there. 3. I gave him 3. So yeah. For me, that's how I go with it. The flow and the order of it all. But hey, up to the eye of the beholder. NBA sees that Tyrese Maxey is, and I guess you can't really fault them too much because the numbers do support it. For me, it was just an eye test thing. Last but not least, we got the executive of the year. For this one, I seen the media opinion was kind of weird. Talk about John Horst, the Milwaukee Bucks executive. I'm like, what do you do? Traded for Damian Lillard? That's it? What do you do? You know what I'm saying? What do you do? I'd be serious. What do you do? You know what I'm saying? Seen Leon Rose for the New York Knicks. Not bad. Leon made some great trades. Got OG Anunoby over there. Really elevated the team. Took a risk trading away IG and quickly and I said IG, RJ and quickly. But at the end of the day, you got to give it to the guy that I think executive of the year. It's just it makes sense. Not only does it make sense, but like got to give it to the guy that had the team with the best record. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like he built the best regular season team. You know what I'm saying? If there was another year, if this was a year that a team drastically improved, from trades, this and that, visibly, all right. But for me, in my opinion, give the executive of the year to the team, the guy that built the best team, and that was Brad Stevens. With the trade, with the Porzingis trade, went out to get Drew Holiday for cheap. Went out to get Xavier Tillman in the in the trade deadline for like a second rounder and another player. Xavier Tillman's a great addition to their team. I think he's far and away on this one, honestly, Brad Stevens. I don't think there's a lot to, like I said, I seen the media opinion, and John Horst doesn't make any sense to me. What did he do? He got Damian Lillard, okay, cool. Like, Leon Rose, I hear that. Like, I hear the Leon Rose one, but the Brad Stevens one is like, it's far and away, man. He built the best team. He made the correct trades. And then even during the season, while his team was still the best, he improved. He got better. You know what I'm saying? And that's executive of the year level. This has been the longest episode in GameTime Gazette history. Isn't that fun? We're reaching new heights. Man. Like, just gotta, like, we're reaching new heights. All right, the last one I have to give out is the GameTime Gazette Award. And then we'll just get out of here. So first of all, with the GameTime Gazette Award, really about underdogs, grittiness. Like, this is the criteria, like the grittiness, underdogs. I said no, wins don't matter. Stats matter a little bit. You gotta give me something. Give me something to work with. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not gonna say it because I like you. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the undervaluedness of that player as well. Like, what the league, obviously the media thing. It's the media thing that I'm adding in here. So the media, like, even if you think this guy is a top guy in the league, it's what the media has underrated this guy and needs to put him back in. And to be honest, I'm not gonna go with the whole top 3. I'll just give you my one. Scotty motherfucking Barnes, nigga. I'm talking Scotty Barnes. Excuse my French. I mean, this year he's gotten some crazy hate. some ridiculous hate. Like he's not one of the best players in the world. You know what I'm saying? Not one of the best players in the NBA. The growth that he took from last year, you know, like we're talking about Scotty Barnes not even being able to attempt threes like that last year. Fans were leaving him open, giving him space, Ben Simmons treatment. To this year, you have to close out on him on three. 1 year, bro. 1 year. If he didn't get injured, he would have broken a few more records for sophomores, this and that. He would have done his thing. Bro. Because end of the day, like, regardless of all the autism jokes and all of that, the kid's a baller, bro. Kid's a hard worker, keeps his head down, and just continues to get better. Talk about a GameTime Gazette Player of the Year. He embodies it all. In a year where they traded away half his team. You know, half his guys were traded away. Pascal, OG, Fred left in the summer. He stepped up. Yeah, we didn't win that much games, but he improved. He got so much better. And with that, I'll leave it there. I've had an amazing time with you guys tonight. This has been a great episode on the GameTime Gazette, giving my whole NBA awards outlook. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. If you have, leave a like, leave a comment. Make sure to subscribe to keep up to date with every episode that's coming out on time. And without further ado, remember, Jesus loves you. So love your neighbor like you love yourself. Let's make this world a better place, one day at a time. We're both living in it, right? Let's go. Let's get it. I love you guys. See you guys on the next one tomorrow. It's been Isaiah Nenny. It's been the GameTime Gazette. Peace.